Hey there, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be continuing our playthrough of Danganronpa tonight. Should be a lot of fun. We're getting close to the first sort of trial thing, and Sky is pushing buttons. Before we get much further, let's check in with the rest of the kitties here. You can see Sky on the heating pad in the upper right there. He is in full troublemaker mode. Means he needs intensive ear scratches, or he's going to do things like grab the mouse some more. Then over here on the right we have Ember, who's snoozing away. We don't see Sammy, Sherbet, or Mason. Mason is back in from quarantine. His eye seems to be doing just fine. What I was seeing was that his eye was getting a little irritated by having the medication applied. Since I was seeing it, clear for a while when he wasn't receiving it again. So that, to me, means that he's had a clear eye for at least a couple of days now. And that's what we were looking to get done. So he is back in there. Sherbet is very pleased to have his brother back with him. So we'll see if they make an appearance today. They sometimes hide out in some of the sound blocking curtains and similar. But yes, let's put the camera on Ember and let's pop into the game here. So far, Danganronpa continues to be the loudest game at low volumes. I have to lower the sound quite a bit. Let's switch over into here. There we go. So I believe we need to find where the knife is now, or where the knife came from. Need to remember what all these buttons do. I think we need to go to the kitchen to find that. With that. Guys continuing to grab stuff. Oh wait, this is the laundry room. This is not where we keep the knives. Here we go. Do we talk to these folks first?
Very strange.
So why was Sayaka in your room when she was killed? Could it be because you are the culprit? No, you got it all wrong. Sayaka and I switched rooms last night. Just gives us a look. Oh. Yep. Didn't even try to hide the suspicion on his face. Very much a, that's what you're going with kind of look. Oh, Sammy. Sammy sees that it's streaming time, so has daintily stepped out for pets. It is interesting how much of her behavior is like Rorschach was. That very... And she's a lot more skittish in general, but the way that she walks onto your lap to get pet, and how she interacts, it's very slow and deliberate. Even if what you say is the absolute truth, you're still responsible for her death, wouldn't you say? Huh? After all, she wouldn't have died if she hadn't switched rooms with you, right? reason Sayaka was killed is because I suggested we switch rooms. She's dead because of me. And it should have been me that died? Well, all we can say right now is that it's a possibility. That really is true, then I... Definitely my room, but the nameplate has Sayaka's name on it. Sayaka's room, but the nameplate has my name on it. Nameplates on my room and Sayaka's room were switched. So all that effort I put into switching rooms without anyone knowing was totally pointless. But why would anyone do that? A good thing we went back to talk to folks.
Seems like...
Something doesn't seem right. The Monokuma file said Sayaka was killed in your room. I just can't stop thinking about it. Could it be the nameplate? Very strange. Nagi. Snaggy? Somebody told me how it was pronounced last time and I've forgotten. What was Miss Maizano doing in your room? You just say this. I absolutely will not allow you to dispose of any evidence in the trash room. Really think I'm guilty? Oh. That sounded like a screaming note to go check the trash room, huh? Easy to get turned around. Some kind of switch. Wonder what it does. Gives me a coin, I guess. Hatch in the floor. Door won't budge. It must be locked. But it did contain a coin. Sturdy gate. No way to get past. And the demon teddy returns. Oh, hey there, Directrix. Welcome back. It has been a bit. We've been doing okay. The plague on the House of Cats has finally lifted. I think they're all better now. The last one is in from quarantine. We're still going through our playthrough of Phoenix Wright. We're on the last of the trilogy. We have just started that. We got through the tutorial case, where we got to play as Mia. Murder by Numbers continues. We've picked up the Final Fantasy VII content of Power Wash, so we're doing that on Mondays as our chill game right now. And we had tried Yes Your Grace, but I think we're going to set that one aside and maybe start some of the Yakuza games. We'll start with Judgment because it's kind of on theme for us. I think that's a Yakuza-related one. Or it involves Yakuza. I don't know. But it has been recommended. How about you, Directrix? How are you doing? I like the music in this game. The end of the line, the trash room. This is where all the trash in the school eventually winds up. How do you get this gate open?
You can't go any further!
How do you get this gate open? No, no, no. No entry beyond this point. Only the person on cleaning duty is allowed in. Cleaning duty?
No, you can't go any further.
No, no, no. No entry. Who's on cleaning duty?
You can't go any further.
This is stupid. It'd be faster to just go around and ask the others.
No, you can't go any further.
He keeps repeating that. We have, Tass. Cleaning duty has been added to the truth bullets section. Hamster Man mentioned the trash room, so we had to go check. Looking for whoever's on cleaning duty. Cleaning duty? As a matter of fact, that's me. Why do you ask? Just so happens Monokuma talked to me yesterday and asked me to take care of it. Without someone on cleaning duty, the school would be flooded with trash in no time. Kitties in general are cute. So I formally applied for the position. I was going to start this morning, but after what happened, I haven't had a chance to get started. Since you're on cleaning duty, you can open the gate in front of the trash room.
Here we go.
Of course. It's my job to gather up all the garbage and toss it in the trash room. And to do that, they gave me the key for the trash room gate. We're supposed to rotate once a week, so eventually you'll be in charge.
Very strange.
Wait, hold on. You need a key to get in the trash room? The only person on cleaning duty has access, and only the person on cleaning duty has access to the key? What's the point of going to all that trouble? Why not just leave the trash room open all the time so we can all throw things out whenever we want? That does seem more convenient.
So in other words...
Actually, anyone who kills a fellow student and becomes blackened will graduate unless they're discovered. Oh, hey, that's crazy. Welcome back. Playing some Danganronpa. I'm currently scratching Sammy's ear. I presume that the trash stores are locked because that will make it harder to dispose of any evidence.
So that's it.
That must be why. If anyone could go in and out of the trash room whenever they wanted, then destroying evidence would be easy. The thrill would disappear and things would become boring. Boring? You can't have any murder without some, some thrill, a little zest to it. It's got to be an interesting murder. The hiding of the murder has to be entertaining for everybody involved. That's what's important.
Hey, listen.
Anyway, more important than that.
Hey, you bastard.
Hey, Fatty, why'd you want the cleaning duty gig anyway?
Oh,
Just decided to volunteer for something I knew no one else would want to do. What's the big deal?
You...
Liar, I know why you did it.
like...
You want to dig through all the girls' trash looking for, and poking around at it.
There's no way to think about this in a common sense kind of way.
What are you talking about? All my love is for 2D.
You know what I mean.
There's all kinds of trash diggers like that. Maybe you'll get tired of 2D and then turn to...
completely unforgivable.
He's passionate about this topic. How have you been doing? That's crazy. Exactly, Directress. You gotta Gotta keep things interesting. Never get tired of 2D. You hear that heavy breathing? They keep him on theme, don't they? Spending a significant amount of time comparing 2D and 3D, I voluntarily chose 2D. The only thing 3D is good for is to shower love and affection on 2D. Oh, and PVC figures.
Give me a break.
How are you not totally embarrassed to say stuff like that? How are you not totally embarrassed with that chin thing? If you're so worried about Hifumi's questionable morality, there's an easy solution. Whenever a guy has cleaning duty, Sakura can accompany them from picking up the trash to disposing of it. What?
What?
You're as innocent as you claim. Where's the harm in it? That's not how it's supposed to. Anyway, on another topic, Hifumi, since you were on cleaning duty, I have a favor to ask you. What, so now you suddenly want to join my party? Sorry, but you haven't triggered that flag yet. Game references. I mean, you haven't helped me recover from a past trauma, or save a village, or beat a boss. Nothing like that. I was just hoping to get into the trash room and look around.
You got it.
Oh, okay. This is so easy. Ooh, the trash room. You'd like me to open the gate, wouldn't you? You know, when I look at it, it makes me think... They said he killed his wife. He learned how to get by on the inside, but he never stopped dreaming. Is this a reference? Busy living or get busy dying, he said. So him and Rita, they found themselves a way out. Whatever, please just hurry up. Leave it to me. Fumi pulled a key out of his pocket and used it to flip the switch next to the gate. And then...
Mr. Naegi!
However, Mr. Naegi,
Without a doubt.
surely you aren't planning to use the trash room to destroy evidence, are you? You fiend! You planned this all along. Not thinking very far ahead, are you? No. I just wanted to see if the actual killer had tried to destroy any evidence or not. The actual killer is you, isn't it? You want to see if you left anything behind. It may be a parallel world? Whatever, let's just hurry up and keep looking. We definitely got some stuff. Huge trash can, where we're supposed to put whatever trash we can't burn. Whatever it's for, it doesn't look like it's hiding any clues. Except this coin. A green button and a yellow button. No doubt they're related to the big mechanism. This is the incinerator. It's way in the back part of the trash room. Good 30 feet from here to the gate. Ah, and it's on right now. You see the green and yellow buttons next to the mouth of the incinerator? It's a pretty simple setup. You press the green button to get it going and the yellow button to turn it off. I get the green button, pretty standard, but choosing yellow for stop? This is questionable user interface. Or user experience, if you want to be fancy. With the coins directrix, you can buy little gifts that you can give to people during like the socialization sequences. I don't know if there's an advantage later for having them like you. You also unlock skills, which it hasn't shown me any use for or how to use. based on your interactions with particular people. Sammy needs some back rubs here. Sooner or later, you'll be on cleaning duty, so make sure you learn this before you leave, okay? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here.
Is it a fairy?
Perhaps it was the work of a fairy. Fumi, do you realize what you just said? Huh? The fairy? No, you said the last time you were here, the incinerator was off. Ah, yes, about that, there can be no mistake. If I've got one thing going for me, it's my memory.
I feel as if...
Yesterday, as soon as I was appointed, I came down to check the place out, and it definitely wasn't on then. I haven't been back to the trash room since then, and since I'm the only one who has the key to open the gate, it should be impossible for the incinerator to be on. And yet... That makes someone who, that means someone was able to switch on the incinerator without opening the gate. But how is that possible? Incinerator has been added to the truth bullets section. We still don't know what a truth bullet is, aside from the fact that we are accumulating them. They seem to be like key facts. That would be part of the mysteries. How did somebody get in? Something on the ground in front of the incinerator. A burnt piece of something. One of the things they seem to be doing is blood is replaced with something that is, you know, the hottest of pink. If anything, it makes it that much more apparent. Burnt piece? Like a hunk? Like a hunk of... A hunk of burning love? Anyway, this is... Looks like a piece of cloth in the shape, part of the sleeve from a button-up shirt. Now that I look at it, that's definitely blood on the cuff. Which means this is all that's left of some of the evidence that the killer destroyed. There are lots of people here with white button-up shirts. Isn't enough by itself to help figure out who the killer is. And what this? Shards of broken glass scattered around in front of the incinerator. Like it used to be some kind of glass ball just big enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
Is this perhaps...
Is that? Do you know what that is? They say if you collect all 7, a dragon will appear and grant you a single wish. Ah, references. Kidding aside, it's the kind of thing you might see on any big city street corner. Gaze into it and it will show you a glimpse of the future. It's like that Mina girl who was on that quest to find that one guy. What we were trying to say, but who did this particular ball belong to? Only one person it could be. It should still be in the gym. I'd better go find out for sure. A shattered crystal ball. So we will see the ultimate psychic or some clairvoyant. This whole thing is quite strange indeed. When I was here last, the incinerator was off and those glass shards and burnt clothes weren't. What does it all mean, Mr. Nagy? Will you be confessing soon? Why me?
That's it. I'm sure.
Everyone already knows you did it. All the mysteries are being solved one by one. Like he's living out one of his comic book fantasies. Yes.
Seems like...
It doesn't seem right. Okay. That button. Remember what the buttons are. Okay, there we go. You still have to go to the dining hall, actually. Find where the knife came from. I also like how everything pops in. Yes. Sayaka has been killed. We've been to the we found swap nameplates. We have been to the incinerator room and found a broken crystal ball and a burnt sleeve. Been to the scene of the crime and found, mayhem. We're going to the kitchen to see if one of the knives from the magnet rack is removed. We're talking to everybody along the way and getting super distracted by it. How are you doing, Rimuru? Just taking a break. Actually, I've been taking a break since we started. This is all a first time for me, I don't have the first clue what I should be doing. All my swimming practice is, she's swimming? Or was she just an athlete? Recall. Anyway, all of her training has not prepared her for the murders. I know what you mean. I don't know why, but being in the dining hall helps keep me calm. So I know I shouldn't, but I've been just kind of hanging around here. Tell the truth, I was doing the same thing last night when Sayaka was killed. She does. Oh, yep. There's the missing knife. All kinds of kitchen knives here, big to small, but one of them is missing. Missing from the very beginning, or better see if anyone here knows more about it. She was here last night, so if somebody took it last night for the purposes of the killing, maybe she knows. Did you notice that one of the kitchen knives is missing from the dining hall?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, weird, huh? Thought it was kind of strange. The knife just suddenly disappearing like that. So it wasn't missing from the beginning?
That's right.
Nope. Last I remember, they were all lined up in a nice, neat row. So when did you notice one of them had disappeared? Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah. In other words, you were right there in the dining hall when someone came and took it. And you should be able to say for sure. You can tell everyone I didn't come to the dining hall last night. Which proves I didn't take it. Hey, by the way, did you really kill Sayaka? Did you do the murder? You can tell me. Of course not. I would never. You really think I murdered her?
I mean...
Well, she was killed in your room, right? So, I mean... You guys were supposed to be friends, right? But you still killed her. On the other hand, two people becoming good friends, then one killing the other is a classic drama setup. When you consider everything together, I honestly have no idea. Yes. Rooms. There's someone in the first classroom. Creepy writer girl. To kill someone, just to save your own life. And I've been living with someone like that. I think I might vomit. But is what Monokuma said really true? Hey, welcome back, Rayday. Good to see you again. How have you been doing? One of you really killed Sayaka? The mastermind really was going to get involved. They would have just killed us on day one. Ah, okay. It's Monokuma. Did Monokuma really speak the truth? Maybe he just killed her. Good point. By the way, how's your investigation going? One of the things I was speculating earlier is one way to make this sort of death game that much trickier would be if the people weren't killing each other initially. If the organizer of it just orchestrated things to look like one or another had done it to get the people to turn on each other. And then it could just kind of snowball from there. How's your investigation going? I already told you I don't do blood, so I don't plan on doing any investigating. Nice. Besides, I already know who did it. After all, where was Sayaka killed? In your room, right? More proof do we need? We already know the truth. She really doesn't trust me at all. Let's see.
Listen to me.
Oh, okay. Let's see. In the gym, I can't remember if it was. I think it was the announcement of the murder or earlier. But one of the characters, Junko, tried to attack Monokuma or something like that, and she got torn up. Omnidirectional impalement, you know? Okay, I think that was before. Maybe after? I don't remember. But Junko is dead too. But she was killed for breaking the rules. And then Sayaka came to Yep. That is appreciated. These kind of games are not spoiler durable. You have a second, Makoto. I've uncovered something most unusual. The door to everyone's dorm has a nameplate on it to show whose room it is, right?
You hear me?
Well, it just so happens. Wait, no. You might be the killer yourself. I can't tell you anything. Forget everything I just said. Forget, Beam. This is a little joke. Even I do jokes sometimes. Well, nothing happened to him somewhat by coincidence. Because Monokuma started to beep while he was threatening violence, or, had a hold of him. And they warned him to get rid of it, and he, if I recall, he drop-kicked it into the air, where it exploded, and then another one showed up. Having survived, the second Monokuma told him that, he could be killed for what he did. It would have broken the rules, but this would serve as a warning. And then Junko was the second time. I believe she was, stomping on the bear at the time that she was killed. It was just indicating someone was in front of the room. Sure. What happens if I put multiple coins in? Skizzers. So again, just sciencing this out here. That was a thing. Okay, you can feed all the coins in at once and it just goes through them in sequence. Oh, no, you are correct. Multiple coins means a better chance. It was just coincidence that I was getting doubles while I was entering 2 of them. But we have performed science. And now we know. I recall somebody made the joke, made a joke related to that. Where we go. The gym. Gold sword that we went with Sayaka to retrieve. Actually, we're going to backpedal a bit here. And it seems to have been used in the killing. Not like the stabby part. The stabby part was the kitchen knife. But the sword, it looks like it was used as a bludgeon since it was in the sheath initially. That. We do this. Check. Okay, yeah, he was in front of the door. No. It's odd. Okay, we come back down the hall and she should be there. to find the get out of this menu button. There we go. Okay, escape sometimes works. Ah, okay, she's at the front door. So, do you have any clues or anything? What kind of clues? Let us just agree we do not know who the culprit is and leave it at that. No worries. This is the first time we've played it since we played it last. I think. Didn't we play it? Yeah, I think last week was the first time we played it. And then this week is when we're resuming. Time is a thing. Whatever secrets I may have, I don't intend on revealing anything until the class trial. Okay, then, do you have any suggestions for where I could start looking?
Well,
So annoying. Must you fumble around fishing blindly for clues? I suppose it wouldn't hurt to give you a little hint. The scene of the crime, naturally, but I think the trash room is also worth looking into. Trash room? Perfect place to destroy evidence. However, there's one little problem. Which
as
is...
for me,
That place is filthy. I would rather die than set foot in there. Trusting all of you to conduct a thorough investigation on my behalf. That's... Can't help you acquit yourself. I might get dirty. We're not 100% yet. The current person that is implicated is the clairvoyant guy, because of the shattered crystal ball at the incinerator where some evidence was burned. Hey, Chihiro, I was hoping I could ask you something. Oh, what is it? Before she died, Sayaka left a message. She wrote out the number 11037. Exactly, Remuru. Oh, this is the other clue. So she wrote something upside down when she died, and this is Leon. That's the other person. But, just like with one of the Phoenix Wright trials, wrote a dying message is something that you can kind of tamper with. If I recall, it was one of the tutorial trials where a guy wrote a message in the sand. Have any idea what these numbers might mean? Could they be a code or something? Sorry, no. Slowly shook her head.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just don't know. Hey, well, don't worry about it. Thanks anyway. Even she doesn't know. Or maybe she... Or could she maybe know more than she's letting on? Nah, couldn't be. Hey, Hero. Can I ask you something? The receipt one, they had that too. With the receipt, it was where it was Maya's name in blood on the back. And on the front of it, the actual receipt, there was evidence that was useful later, which was comical, because that meant nobody looked at what the paper was. They only looked at the back of it. For the entirety of the time, they must have set it on a sheet of cardboard and wrapped it in an evidence bag so that you couldn't see the other side. But I think the first trial in one of the games, where a police officer falls off or is pushed off of a ledge, and dies on the beach, there was a, last dying message written in the sand. And I believe that message was shown to be something that the killer added later. Like they used the person's hand to write something. No. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out now. I've had enough. Gotta break free. Hero, snap out of it. Huh? Makoto, what are you doing here? What? Does this look familiar? It's my crystal ball. But it's all smashed. Yep, we are now on... I think we're starting second trial, third game. Though we played them in the order 2, 1, 3. Accidentally. Yeah, we're working through the third one now. And then we'll set our sights on the Great Attorney. Great Detective or the two new ones that take place in the past.
What the heck?
I only bought it because the guy said it was blessed. He said it was unbreakable. So how did it break? Is it actually just made of glass and not crystal? That guy totally duped me? I mean, isn't glass a crystal? Aren't most minerals crystals? Is there really a distinction? I'm, rusty on my, geology, you know? He said it belonged to the pillars of history. Genghis Khan, George Washington, Napoleon. He said whoever controlled that crystal ball controlled the world. Was that seriously all BS? Let's put that aside for now. When they say he's the ultimate clairvoyant, I feel like there were quotation marks around clairvoyant. All right, Rimuru. Have a good time. You can say without a doubt that this belonged to you. That's mine for sure. Probably forgot it in the laundry room last night. Someone must have come by and snatched it. Left it in the laundry room. Means someone could have found it and taken it. Cheddar Crystal Ball was updated. I think truth bullets are facts that you can use. That's all I wanted to know. By the way, I'm almost afraid to ask, but how much did you pay for that thing? Thing I saved up from fortune telling for 2 full years. Came out to like $1 million. Wow. $1 million? Pretty cheap, actually. I mean, considering it gives you the power to control the world. It's just too stupid. I can't even feel bad for him. You've crossed the line from getting scammed to just throwing away your money, sir. Button. Button? The laundry room was on this floor, right? Yes. Yum. A washing machine. A washing machine that has nothing to do with this case. Oh, they're each... This one, too, has nothing to do with the case. Also. Also. But it contained a coin. No sympathy from Weed Man. Again, there's a level of stupid where you've brought it... There's a level of stupid where you had to bring it down on your own head. Like, you weren't conned. You didn't make a mistake. You set out. You set out and very deliberately plotted out a course of action that contained maximum stupid. Like, there's a particular level of competence that you have to put in to coming up with a way to be that stupid. Reading materials. Magazines have Juko's face on it. That vending machine's still there. Still doesn't have any way of helping solve this case either. Such sass. There's a swimsuit hanging out to dry. It has nothing to do with what's going on. It does give us a coin, though. The monitors. Okay. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Put it in Makoto's room. Place in the bathroom. Stab wound to the abdomen. Her right wrist appears to have been fractured. Scratches and gouges on the walls in Makoto's room. So the sword was out of its sheath, and we know that the sword had like a gold dust on it that would come off of it and stick to whatever it touched really easy, like glitter. Like it was hard to get it off. Sword handle was missing some of the gold coating. Sheath was found some distance from the sword itself and shows evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. I wonder if it was initially used... So... maybe the killer enters with the kitchen knife and goes to attack Sayaka, who grabs the I'm sure I didn't say that. I definitely said walls. Can't possibly have messed up like that. So maybe the sheath was used defensively, took some hits from the knife. But see, that's weird. How would her arm have gotten fractured? Maybe... If you're going to attack someone with it, you would almost certainly remove the sheath first. is this indicates that it was something, that it was a defensive scenario. At least to me, it seems like it would be. So yeah, Sayaka claimed that somebody tried to get into her room, and she was frightened, so she asked to switch rooms. And they did. They exchanged keys. And then somebody came into Makoto's room at night and killed Sayaka. Additionally, we can see that the nameplates on the room, on the two rooms, were swapped as well. Ember just hopped down. Let's do a quick kitty check here. Hey, we got a Sammy sighting. All bageled up. So maybe they were coming to kill... No, that's weird. Because they still went after Sayaka. Like, they still went into, you know, Sayaka's room. So the toolkits, all the males received toolkits. All the females received sewing kits. Sewing kits that also contained detailed listings of human anatomy that could, and how they could be damaged through, like, and where it would be most lethal to be stabbed, you know. I think the implication that the toolkits could be used to break into rooms and the sewing kits could be used to kill. All the male students claim to that they haven't used theirs either, but still. In Makoto's room, there was the lint roller, and it looks like the entire floor was cleaned up. And the lint roller was clearly used. Okay, yeah. So her wrist has the gold glitter near the fracture. So it would seem that the sheath would have to have been used to smack her wrist. Her hands appear to be completely clean except for the index finger, which had some blood on it. So she wouldn't have been the one to use the sword. Oh, if you have cats long enough and enough of them, especially with some of them, for a while I had a pair of Maine Coons, and their hair is special. It has strange properties. For one, it'll almost form like a webwork over time. So if it gets into the carpet, you have to, like, take, like, a damp rag and scrub at it to, like, draw it out. Vacuuming won't pull it all out. And even if it does, if you have a bristle, one of the bristle beaters inside the vacuum, the hair will actually, like, wind into it tightly and form a mat. Like, it'll be like a solid sheet inside of it, and you have to cut it out. If it gets on your clothes and it goes through the wash, the hair will actually form these little clumps woven into the fibers of the clothes that you have to pull off. It was a process. You could even take the fur after you brushed it and, like, roll it in your hands and it'd form a hard ball. But yeah, it looks like Sayaka didn't take the sword. It looks like she was hit with the sheath of the sword. See, they looked at it and said, "Oh, it's 11037," but we can see the dulled mark between the two first marks there. So that what it looks like is it's Leon upside down. Exactly, Ray Day. I just live in a state of cat hair. It's not so much a particular circumstance or thing. It's just a state of being. So the bathroom door handle was difficult to open. It did not have an actual lock, despite what it looks like. That's not a lock. But it would stick when it was closed. You had to lift the knob a little bit. If I had to guess, the little lock, the little catch mechanism that you're turning the knob to, rotate out of the way was seated too low, and it ground against the opposite socket so much that it couldn't be turned properly, or something. Hey there, Roxy. Oh, welcome to the stream. I'm Newt Mechanist, and I stream kind of a variety of games. We found ourselves on a detective game kick for quite a while. But we play other things now and again. I have many cats. It's kind of a thing. There are only 2 of the 5 visible right now. That one's Sky. This one's Sammy. And not visible are Ember, Mason, and Sherbet. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I hope you have a good time. Feel free to, feel free to chat. I'll try to keep up with that. There's plenty of time. Otherwise, you can just watch the game if you'd like. So let's see. Makoto knew about it because Monokuma told him about it, and he had to show Sayaka about it. But if I recall, the bathroom knob after the event was smashed, it was bashed loose. Yeah. Speaking of. Okay, partially or completely removed, which implies the toolkit. The nameplates were swapped. Kitchen knife was taken. AOA here, I think it's AOA, says that the knife was taken that night, and that Makoto wasn't in the dining hall when it would have been taken. Trash room is closed except for the person on trash duty who has the key. No, you can't get in except for that. The incinerator was on when it hadn't been on the morning, that morning, that day. There's a big button next to the incinerator about 30 feet away from the gate that controls it. It was the burned sleeve with blood on it and the broken crystal ball. So some evidence was burned. And the crystal ball got in there. Taka's room. Yoko. Mondo. Yeah, things are generally casual. We try to chat a lot, especially when it's not a game that is particularly action-oriented. Plenty of time to talk. Junko is dead. Junko is dead. Junko! Toko's room. Just gonna walk around jiggling door handles. Celeste's room. Ina's room. Sakura. I like how her chibi, even her chibi, is swole. No worries, Ray Day. Said, feel free to just watch or listen as you like. And it can be fun to replay games that we like. Leon's room. Oh. A human-shaped blur come tearing out of the depths of the hallway.
You bastard.
Oh, Leon comes flying out at us. Hold up, hey. What do you think you're doing? Huh?
I mean, seriously?
How does my room have anything to do with the investigation? Well, I suppose that's a natural reaction to someone trying to go into your room without permission. Well, okay, so his reaction is a little sus, but justifiable. Mechanically, in terms of gameplay flags, that's super sus that his is the only door that gets a reaction. Hamster Man. Oh, well, you know, have to say something and then immediately be proven wrong. A rumbling like a herd of elephants stampeding down the hallway. Hold it right there. Huh? Trying to enter someone's room without their express permission is the highest breach of etiquette.
So it would seem.
Whether it's related to the case or not, you must respect a person's right to privacy. True. But, there's also, you know, counterpoint. If I don't find the right clues, I'm going to be killed. So, you know, I don't care about your etiquette. Fish. Can't imagine it would have anything to do with the case, but hey, look. Obviously. Path isn't open. I mean, that's not shocking at all, Remeru. Point of stairs if you can't use them. Go poke some more stuff just to be sure. A note that we received when we woke up. Monokuma's room. Rattle, rattle. Door won't budge. Must be locked. Check the AV room again. Oh, we do have Sayaka's disc. DVD player. Don't we have her disc? Let's go check the, can we check her room? Yeah, Sayaka's room. Can I go into Sayaka's room? This one. Can only be one thing in the trash can. There we go. This is the... Everybody received a DVD that was meant to motivate them to kill. Monokuma was upset that there hadn't been any murders overnight. Decided to, you know, get everybody motivated. That'd be directly related to the case, but it'd be worth checking out. Can't let myself get depressed again. I need to search for clues. Sewing kit and an organ map. Again. Go to the AV room. Play that trauma disc. Should be able to use this to see what's on the disc. DVD that Sayaka threw in the garbage. Sit down in the front of the screen and put the DVD in the player. So Makoto showed his family in like an opening one, and then it showed the same scene with like, you know, window broken out, couch all ripped up. With the implication that something was happening to his family, or had happened to his family. Play, the screen was dark for a few seconds, but then is the idol group that Sayaka was part of. Kind of concert, and standing on stage, front and center, was a face I recognized all too well. Sayaka. She was there, along with the friend she said had been so important to her. Positively glowing there in front of the crowd, so full of life. See, that image made it even harder to accept that she was dead. Vision started to blur and darken, and then that voice I'd come to despise so much began to float out of the speakers.
Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
But then... Suddenly, the screen went dark, and in the next moment... I saw something I could hardly believe. What the... Sayaka had disappeared from the stage, which was now in ruins. What I noticed even more than that was the figures of the other girls who had simply collapsed.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What, oh what, could have caused the group to go to pieces?
Yep. Without warning, the video cut off. What? That wasn't real, right? They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. He's trying to say he was even able to get to them? That really did happen. Everyone in the outside world must be going crazy. What kind of person would take things this far? Uh-oh. Have we obtained the last factoid?
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started,
I'm bored. Let's get on with the killing.
It's time for the long-awaited class trial! Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Red door on the first floor. Where I have to go. It's nice of them to teleport us. You're late. We've all been waiting for you. Bet you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me.
Not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. We can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. Don't jump to conclusions. Wait until we have everybody together so we can all jump to the conclusions together. Really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. Then who is the killer? The one who murdered Sayaka. Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided.
For those not familiar with the game or the media associated with this, this is a death game kind of scenario. The people have to, in order to escape, you have to kill one of the other people and not get caught. After someone is dead, there will be a trial. If the perpetrator is identified, then they are killed. If the perpetrator is not identified, if the wrong person is picked to die for the killing, then everybody else gets killed, and the perpetrator gets to leave.
I'll meet meet you all down there.
So that's what we're doing now. Relax, I haven't decided 100% that you're the culprit just yet. Maybe, but you're obviously leaning that way.
What the heck?
Can't help but wonder that what whoever killed Sayaka is feeling right now. Did you find anything that might actually prove your innocence? Being so insistent, even though you obviously killed her. Very impressive.
You know what I mean.
I did my job. I'm counting on the rest of you from here on out. Time has finally come. Are you ready? School basement has become the darkened stage. We're all here to bear witness to Mr. Naegi's final curtain call. Bear. Let's get started. She is the only one that we don't know what she is the ultimate of. You have the ultimate baseball player, the ultimate rich kid, and that kind of thing. She is an ultimate something.
Hey.
Point in standing around here, settle your resolve and step into the future.
Impossible.
Gotta go through with this class trial thing, huh?
You know?
Want to confess, I guess now's the time to do it. I'm telling you, I didn't do it.
What? What?
Whoever stuck us here even took the time to set up a courtroom, huh? No choice but to get on this elevator. Let us begin.
Yes, indeed. Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right. I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysteries surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. The truth of her death. Didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. Raised my voice to try and give myself courage. I turned, trembling with anticipation, towards the elevator. Each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. One of the key aspect of this is the everyone else dies. It's not just who gets out first kind of thing. It is, you have to guess right. Doors closed and the elevator started to move. Steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes. Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. I mean, even just the minimum time for those those words to go by, this place is down there. You finally arrived. What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? Like a Hollywood movie set, right?
Shit.
It does seem that way, Ray Day. It's the... hopefully there will be like a save point soon, because I haven't made use of that. I wonder. Oh, we can. Okay. Save. Not even close. Everyone find your assigned seats and sit down. Hurry up now. Hurry up. We did what he said and found our seats. Fancy. Seats were arranged in a giant circle. Okay, you can see the empty seats with the kind of classic funeral portrait kind of style on little standees in the empty spaces. Set up so that everyone could see everyone else, which also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto everyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there, and by sat, we mean stood. So the curtain on our first case opened. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly... Okay, we get it. We get it. It's deadly. It is deadly. Yes, yes, we get it. A riddle, a defense, a faith. All very deadly. Also a class trial. Yes. Buy a thesaurus, Nagy. Ah, okay. There we go. Oh, okay. Skills. Open the e-handbook. No. We went through all of these. We have 11 skill points. Right, eh? Increase damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Costs 3 skill points. Sure. Okay. This implies the presence of a bullet time battle and inflicting damage. Trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Rhymed.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
See, that's why you get zombies, because the power of friendship transcends death.
Friendship penetrates?
That's enough out of you, hamster.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble.
Ignore that
Get
detail.
ready to get
It won't be
started.
important later.
First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin!
It's about to begin, the debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. First non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to know more? Yes. Exactly, Ray Day. They were all just really good friends. And you get kind of a Kevin Bacon effect. You know, this person was a friend of this person, was a friend of this person, was a friend of this person, and then you've got a whole zombie horde. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim and then fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. Press the escape key during these arguments. You can review the controls. Evidence of a struggle.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Something's off about what she just said. So this was, she didn't have a chance to resist. There was evidence of a struggle. All the scratch marks on the wall and similar, and the fact that she was injured. If Sayaka hadn't resisted at all, there's no explanation for what happened to my room. For this first debate, we'd like to take a quick sidebar. If you're unable to spot and refute someone's lies or contradictions, the arguments will repeat. Within a group of statements, some words appear in a different color. Did you happen to notice? That represents a potential hole in the person's statement, a possible weak point. These weak points reveal important, though not always inaccurate, sections of a person's statement. Your truth bullets are only effective against these weak spots. So when you see one coming up, take aim and fire, but only if you're sure it's actually wrong. Also, you can fast forward an argument by holding down the control key. Noted.
I assert that the one who was murdered was him.
And the murder took
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
There we go. Well, that's fancy.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
This is kind of cool.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Chihiro hadn't seen the scene. Chihiro, Hiro, was it Hiro? Supernova, the clairvoyant, stayed in the gym with Junko's body.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Lots of voiceover in this one. I mean, that is correct, Ray Day. It is the version of Phoenix Wright's objection. Effectively, it's give Phoenix Wright a gun and open fire instead of saying objection. What was used to kill Sayaka?
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong.
The kitchen knife.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
You know, it by almost positive he means it was 100% clearly one of the kitchen knives.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Exactly, Ray Day. Phoenix Wright, but with a gun, is Danganronpa.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
You don't need to look close. It's clearly a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You gotta keep pressing until a contradiction arises. Precisely, Rimuru. What do you think killed her? Maybe that knife sticking out of her chest? Oh, well, to be fair, we did have the Phoenix Wright trial recently where the weapon stabbed into the body was not the murder weapon. The murder weapon was removed from the corpse and hidden, and then a different knife was stabbed into the open wound.
You really believe that?
Hey there, casemate. Good to see you again. He's right. There's got to be some breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. I know I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to know more? Would you like to know more was Starship Troopers movie, wasn't it? You can concentrate by holding down the space key. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Good luck and have fun. Okay.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong!
Okay, wait. Hold on.
I do love the
didn't
drama.
take the knife
It's
from the
great.
kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Aw. That would actually be an interesting concept. I don't know. I'm trying to recall if I've ever played a game where you're playing as a Jekyll Hyde character, where it is there's something going on that you the body are doing, but the consciousness that you're playing at is not aware of it happening.
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. When I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. You're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall. So somebody slipped past her. She does not seem to be the most perceptive individual in general. Yeah?
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
Kinda? Sorta? Maybe? Definitely. We can pin it on them. It is the kind of thing that they do. They definitely did it.
The knife disappeared while Kino was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
Mind blown, right, eh?
What if
You've
the
clearly
idiot
cracked the
swimmer
case.
girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
That doesn't make sense given the rules of the game.
Idiot swimmer girl! Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
All right, fine, I'll tell you.
Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife, so I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
So when he said Sakura's, like, that was a oh, one moment. Camera difficulties. There we go. Couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no.
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means, we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Unwholesome. Can't have that kind of thing on this channel. This is a clean channel. Nothing unwholesome happens here.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Oh, you knew somebody in this crew had to be the first one. Leon was about to. And it looks like Hiyotaka was the first one.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Because she's a ditz. It's very clear. You seem to be perceptive enough that you shouldn't be asking this question.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Ooh.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later,
Okay.
she wound up dead.
So, Sayaka had the knife. Which could mean, did Sayaka suffered injuries from the scabbard of the sword, and the sword was damaged, or the sword scabbard had some nicks in it. So, was this Sayaka defending herself, or Sayaka attacking? Okay, so the person who took the kitchen knife from the kitchen was...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility.
Who's that, Ray Day? It is a, sometimes, casemate, that seems to be a common affliction of the, of the very athletic hobbies. Huh. Okay. I've only seen little snippets of that. I don't mind the Shin Megami Tenchi games or the first two Personas, even the Digital Devil Saga ones, but I never really got into Persona 3 and forward. I really tried, but I'm not fond of time management games. Not out of the question, but I like to make numbers go up, and the time slice system in the ticking clock prevents me from making all the numbers go up, and I don't like it.
And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely,
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Bum bum.
What?
There's even the Phoenix Wright turnabouts going on here. Where it seems like you're in the lead and then it gets flipped back around.
See? He did do it after all.
She's way too into that accusation. Yep. I did try that once, but I'm trying to remember what impeded me. It might have just been that something else came up. Yep. That might be something to do, because I know Persona 5 is supposed to be pretty good.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
What fibers is his clothing made out of? Especially the shirt. I'm interested. Those buttons have got to be awesome.
You possess a most terrifying talent.
If I don't do something, they're going to blame me for the murder. Still, they were already going to blame you for the murder. If they convict me, everyone's going to die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Tell me more. As things advance further in the trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already know. Oh, there are systems in this. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Mouse to aim, left click to fire. Shoot down the wrong letter, you'll suffer damage. If this gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Good luck, have fun! Hair. Okay, you have to hit him multiple times.
Now
okay.
I understand.
All the fibers in the carpet were removed.
That's right. There wasn't
all
a
of the
single hair on the floor.
hair and similar was removed from the carpet with the lint roller. Which I get that they're saying that it was cleaned up, but the size of the lint roller and the size of the room would imply that that lint roller had to be like an inch thick on each side in order to accommodate all of that to get all of the hair out of the carpet. Either that or there's some sort of like uber stickiness to that lint roller. Like, that's a lint roller we all need. Wasn't a single hair on the floor.
The culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Well, removing all the hair and the carpet outside of where her corpse was to make sure that nobody would think that she'd been in the room outside of where her corpse was, and still is. They had to hide the corpse.
Yes, very true, very true.
All of this is kind of goofy, and some of the points are kind of obvious, but I think that lends itself to the participants. These are all high schoolers. These are not, like, nominally trained legal professionals. Like, with Phoenix Wright, it's often painful because they'll do something that's like, how are you still a lawyer? But with this one, you just have a bunch of kids.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
The doorknob is one of the reasons.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
So, Sakura being, like, just ripped as all get out is kind of fun on its own, just because of the, like, sailor outfit turned into fighting garb. But additionally, the kind of horrific scars all over Sakura, the anime battle scars. What kind of martial arts battles is she getting into? Like, is this, bare hand fighting versus sword wielders or something like that?
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Struggled to get into the bathroom, and the evidence was... the doorknob.
Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're
Yep.
talking about the doorknob, right?
That's that key factor to it, Ray Day, is that they're all kids. Which makes Makoto here and the unknown ultimate, I can't recall her name, the more impressive, because while Makoto is scrambling a bit, he is keeping a remarkably level head and coming up with these points pretty smoothly, while everybody else is kind of wildly pointing fingers and shouting,
Huh? The doorknob?
What doorknob? Well, Yasuhiro here, if you recall, Ray Day, is I think 21. He mentions that he's been held back a lot. Of them all, he's the one that looks most like an adult from an anime perspective. Given that anime characters have a wider, uncertain age window.
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Oh, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
That is true. But Sakura in general is kind of an anomaly. Like, even beyond Yasuhiro. She's got that, you know, bioweapon vibe to her. It's a bewildering act. Almost didn't notice at first, but is there a key point here? There's more to learn. Here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. Okay, so we're now going to have to pay attention to make sure we find the right thing. How many weak spots? There's essentially only one lie or contradiction. Trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll lower your trust and your influence will take damage. And if your influence goes to 0, you lose. Find your own logic. Good luck. Have fun. I still love the paper doll vibe.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
So we're looking for an indication that somebody thinks the door was locked.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong.
Not locked, it was just closed.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
It's especially fun when Sakura is next to somebody like Chihiro. It's like Chihiro would fit inside of one of Sakura's biceps, you know?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
They thought it was a girl's room.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Yeah, Kyoko is way too competent. Convinced the bathroom door was locked. He didn't know that it couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail of the scene was... they didn't know it was my room.
The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
I was trying to parse those phrases there.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
I do not think that word means what you think it means.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Huh. So, that particular shock expression from him, his left little hair dealy over his ear is still curled down, but the right one is spiked out to the side. And the little The little dealie over his eyebrows is poofed up. It's almost like it's not hair and more of like a solid mass with tentacles.
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident.
I mean, side by side, Kyoko with Sakura. Sakura's shoulder is bigger than Kyoko's head.
The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Sakura is a tank.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
He's so upset that he doesn't get to keep considering you a murderer.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
Once again, so Mondo apparently calmly said, okay, who did do it? Look at his sprite right now. That is not the face of someone calmly saying something. Like, he's gonna blow out some blood vessels.
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
Enough out of you, Hifumi.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Yes, wildly.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For
serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, yeah, I'm part of this too.
Oh, you...
Celeste has no faith in her. Wow.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Chihiro's thinking face is kind of cute.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
She asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. It's the answer right here.
I got it!
I mean, the act of switching
Sayaka was
rooms?
already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Yeah, Hina is, along with like Yasuhiro, are some of the characters that seem to be only present, but not fully participating. Especially Yasuhiro. And goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Ooh.
Huh?
What
the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Oh, okay. She took... There was the notepad. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay? So that must have been taken from one of the notepads. You can see the whole scribble like pencil lead over it to reveal what was pressed down.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
Hina, ooh, cool, just like on TV.
When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
It is impressive the amount of voiceover that they've got, even if it's primarily centered around the kind of critical gameplay section.
Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't.
But of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
So, Sayaka called somebody to the room. And she had... Okay. So, Sayaka called somebody to the room. She had a knife. She had switched rooms with Makoto. So, anybody that came to the room would be in Makoto's room. What if she planned on killing them? And it went wrong. Because we do have the damage to the scabbard of the sword. Maybe they used it defensively. And I don't mean in like, you know, two-sword style kind of use the scabbard as well sort of thing. Sayaka wrote it. Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone.
The real killer.
She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
There's also the fact with Hifumi, to add to some of his overall image, is the fact that if you look at his skin, on the neck rolls, the chin roll, and even the little hamster cheek, little muzzle dealy. There's the light reflection, the sheen, which implies that it's kind of a glossy surface, perhaps a little greasy.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Or just, even sweatier than you might imagine.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
I mean, this is a group trial in which we need to hear what everybody says.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, but in the
Switch
note,
rooms.
it specifically says, my...
I see. Then they would have gone to
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, that's wrong. The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Would kind of defeat the point of the room switching.
Okay, then who did it?
One person could have switched the nameplates. Oh, no.
Shoot!
Embarrassed myself. Whoopsie-doo.
I got it!
Okay, you get a
Me and
little
Sayaka
health
were the
back
only
from getting
ones
it
who
right.
ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
Sherbet has come out for bath time, it would seem.
You can also infer as much from her note.
"5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to be sure you don't get the wrong room." Very specifically calling out, check the nameplates.
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate.
Mondo being crazy angry to the side
She
there.
would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot.
Thank you, Mondo.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The glitter.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the
Or
replica
at least
sword.
gold glitter.
You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you.
Which lends further credence to gold glitter.
And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Happened in my room. Led to Sayaka's death. That's what we need to make clear. Bit more to learn. Tell me more, tutorial voice. You getting used to them? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. Just like with the weak spots, only one of these bullets can actually refute the proper statement. From here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots. Wrong combination will damage your influence gauge. He rotates. Or you can use mouse wheel. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded. Noted. We're only going to change that if it becomes irritating, but so far, not a problem. For our purpose this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well, that's a vicious tutorial. I think the sheath is going to be the important part.
The culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
I think the sneak attack is where it breaks down. Yep.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong. Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
It's like a claw mark on her shoulder, and then you have the classic cross-the-face slash. So the face is usually like a sword wound or something like that. And then, like, did she fight a bear?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife
Encounters a bear in the woods and is like, let's wrestle. Whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked
I
first.
think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too.
This being the assumption that Sayaka got the kitchen knife as a self-defense weapon.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Which is awkward,
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
because there isn't glitter on her hands.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There is a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
It's again the hand.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
Isn't there a Japanese folktale character of a little girl raised by bears? Often depicted with like a bowl cut and an axe, and then the little it's almost like a one-sided cloth like tied around the back, like a little baby's garment. Like covers the full torso down to the thighs, kind of thing.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because
Because the
you've
water
been
is turned
ugly?
off at night.
No, that's not it at all.
No way that Sayaka washed the gold coating off of her hands because water was off.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m.
This is another one of those, since you can't wash off like blood on your hands or something like that during the time, you're more likely to leave traces around the scene. Just like the garbage room, it's another thing that makes it harder for people to hide what they did.
In other words,
So you've got to
at
try a
nighttime,
little bit more to conceal
and the
your
water in the
murder.
bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower yet.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Wow.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Why would you take it as a compliment?
An insult, obviously.
Exactly.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means The killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Interesting. So Sayaka was orchestrating a situation where she would kill somebody in Makoto's room. And I suspect if she had lived, she would have swapped the nameplates back. And then could pin it on Makoto. Because if they gave the keys back to each other, and the nameplates were swapped back, then it would look like it all took place in Makoto's room.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
Additionally, the lint rolling then was to remove traces of Sayaka's hair, and not the killer, quote, the not Sayaka killer's hair. It was apparent that Sayaka was not in the room. It would further pin the blame on Makoto.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
It would seem so, Roxy.
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
There's a unfortunate pause in your sentence, because if somebody weren't to hear the pin it on you, then you've left a blank.
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying.
Where is her accent from?
And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work...
Given her outfit, are they going for kind of like a slight French maid vibe? Little bit of French accent, maybe?
If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Because she had also just spent, even after the DVD showed up, she had spent time with him.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it.
Hello, Sherbet. Big stretch. He's, Sherbet is snuggliest when he's sleepy. Or when he wants me to come out and give him food.
Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Oh yeah, the whole death game. Maybe we should get on with that.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery.
Thanks, Roxy. We haven't seen Mason tonight. Maybe he'll show up. Mason is the same age as Sherbet. I don't think Sherbet's going to get too much bigger. His proportions seem to be, normalizing. So it looks like he's going to be a little bigger than Ember, who is teeny tiny. Mason, though, has that long legs and big paws thing going still. He kind of gangles around. His rib cage also seems a little big for his frame, so I'm kind of anticipating that he's still gonna grow a bit.
If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
But they're all sweethearts in their own way. Sky is a total troublemaker with everybody, though. Whereas Sky will, Sky knocks things around with malice, or with hard intent. Like, if I don't pay enough attention to him when he's right here, which is right beside my mouse, Sky will reach out and grab the mouse. The number of times Sky has managed to highlight an entire web page or close a window by grabbing the mouse. He'll move the mouse and click it. It is just phenomenal, and he'll wait till you make eye contact with him and throw things off shelves and then kind of meow at you. Like, hey, do I have your attention now? Mason is what I would call a snow angel cat. He will get up on a surface covered in stuff, and he wants to grab everything or just sort of like spread out and kick everything he can out of his way. But yeah. Sherbet kind of imprinted on Sky because when I first brought him home, Mason and Sherbet were both terrified. You know, new place for a freshly adopted pair of cats. But Sky is my diplomat cat. He is the first one that goes up and tries to make friends. And Sherbet is now, like, follows him around and tries to snuggle with him constantly. Sky is usually tolerant of it, but there's a limit. Then this is Ember, who is, she is the little princess. She is very put out by the presence of Sammy, Sherbet, and Mason, as they are all younger than her. She's still the tiniest, but they're all younger than her, and I think she resents not being the little girl anymore. Sammy's not visible right now, and neither is Mason. I suspect Mason is hiding in the curtains. And right now, Ember has that, like, her whole torso and chin is right down on that. The little rectangle that she's laying on is a heating pad. It's a solid plastic one that's made to be used outdoors. So the cord is extra durable, the heat level is really low and stable. They're very effective. The cats like them. Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. Oh, dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, that's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks... Popular media will gives a lot of folks the impression that cats are really, like, solitary and don't get attached to people, but cats are communal. It's just that they're communal at a wider range. Like, a lot of dogs in groups of dogs are right up with each other. The range at which they interact is much closer, much more often. But you will see cats getting really, really close and comfy with each other, and cats will also, like, do that with people. It comes down to the cat's personality. It's the hidden 16th person, Rimuru. Mr. Wong. That's why there are 16 seats.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
Dining?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
No question that Sayaka wrote that message. Her index finger. Well, her finger was used to write the message. Once again, referencing Phoenix Wright, where the index finger had grains of sand, like, embedded in the under the nail, indicating that it had been used to drag through the sand. But that doesn't mean that they were alive when that happened. I would say, in this particular scenario, it would be wildly more difficult for a killer to do that, since it was written as if it was, like, up against the wall. So for her to have done that, she would be looking down at the wall, writing those. So if the message is a number, she wrote that up, like, wrote that right side up while looking at it upside down.
That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
Anybody that's ever been involved in computers, tech support, programming, anything like that, will feel that statement in their soul. You work with computers, right? Can you help me with... Insert whatever thing is going to be most excruciating to deal with.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
You just write something nonsensical or strange or hard to understand, like, you know, with their last dying gasp, they wrote in their own blood, waffles. Bonus points if after the text you draw an arrow towards something that is unrelated to the phrase. You know, like you write waffles and then you point at, say, a waste bin or something like that, or a desk. Anything. Yeah, I was commenting on that, Remeru. Kyoko is strangely competent. Like, above and beyond, like, Makoto, who is scrambling competent. Like, they're remembering things and they're firing off, but it's Kyoko that's prompting him the whole time.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just, look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but... looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
You've been useless up till now, but at least you finally said something worthwhile.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
Huh.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
No use, I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Rotate it. Maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
That's another way to look at it, Remeru. If Makoto floundered around and wasn't as capable as she clearly hopes he is, would she step in? Or would she be like, oh, well, Makoto got it wrong, guess we're all dead?
Huh? You just
It shot past the clue part right on to who did it?
So, whose name did she write?
Here's my answer. The key
Was
to solving
you.
this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
Flip it around. Think outside the box.
If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
Oh, he got all prickly. Even his coat's got prickles.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
Yes, we can. Just did it.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
On the ground in front of the incinerator.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
Ah, okay. The kind of shirt that he's got is a button down. He's got the right kind of sleeves for it. Duh? What? Huh? What?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Even Kyoko is currently standing in for a prompt system, but I think what they're using is the idea that the conversation that happens automatically, the narration between the little mini games, is meant to prompt you to make the right choice. Remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to. Where? The shirt was destroyed. If we focus on that, the killer will become clear. Where it was destroyed, you're talking about the trash room incinerator, right? How's that supposed to make anything clear? Oh, well.
I got it! If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
See, that's why I said where it was disposed of. Because if it was in the trash room, if it was in the incinerator, the question becomes, how did they get to it?
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Right there, once again, it's the him puzzling it out, sounding calm, and then, the sprite being like, rage.
Interesting.
Oh, wait, you mean me? Another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. Alright, what do we got? Okay, the shattered crystal ball.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence. Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was... Huh? Me? No! The key to the whoever was on clip.
So the only one person in charge.
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
The character personalities and voices are, I think, well done for the very exaggerated characters that they're using. It becomes even more amusing when I'm fast forwarding through the stuff.
But if you can't get past the gate, You couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
Divine with it.
The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Someone turned the incinerator on. Quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy. Could have left that part out.
Hifumi had the key.
We don't need to reiterate the proof that Hifumi is living in another world. They wait to the incinerator, yeah.
The killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate.
This is that. Think of it from the other direction. If they couldn't have opened the gate, if it couldn't have been Hifumi who could open the gate, then how did they hit the switch? What did they use to hit the switch?
Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room.
It's a strange choice, isn't it, Rimuru? The fact that they have the fully rendered, like, full body sprite of the character front center, and then they just have their face on the left there. The face has less expression than the center portrait. Why is the face there?
The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small.
Through the grating, no less.
Did someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is... I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
Their outfits are pretty good, aren't they, Casemate? Some of them more than others. Some of them are pretty generic, like Toko right there is a, generic school uniform. I don't find Leon's good, I find Leon's hilarious. If for no other reason than the gigantic safety pin on his right collar.
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
Her little vampire maid get up.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer. These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you.
You still won't admit it? Okay, then.
It's got like a, it is interesting. She does, it's got the long sleeves. It's got like a long coat look to it, but it's cut short and kind of blended with a school uniform.
Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed.
That seems to be the case with her, Roxy, that Celeste is supposed to be the Goth Lolita outfit, or at least the look. they're combining a lot of things, like the maid outfit being lace heavy with a lot of black. They also do a lot of red highlights to give her the kind of vampire edge, along with the pale skin. Got a lot of silver jewelry. That's right, casemate. Under normal circumstances, the idea that a pitcher could do that would be unlikely. But the way they emphasize it, it's outside of Yasuhiro, the clairvoyant. All of them are supposed to be crazy competent at what they're known for. So Leon is not just a pitcher, he is a practically superhuman pitcher at pretty much everything baseball.
Now here's what happened.
Closing argument. Tell me more. Speak to me, tutorial. This phase, you will be given a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events for the case in the form of a comic book. You'll notice that in the comic, there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. You take aim at a missing section and press the left mouse button. Holy cow, you'll get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Good luck, have fun. Climax interface. Room was the scene of the crime where the incident began. Stabs at it. Catches knife. Swings back. She drops the knife. Flees in. There. Breaks in. Then kills her. Gets the roller. Where does that come in? In. Oh. Comes in, encounters her, tries to stab. Tries to stab at him. Blocks with it. Back, hits her wrist, she drops the knife, flees into the bathroom, can't open the door. Gets out the screwdriver, apparently. Yep. Comes in, stabs her, she writes her name.
Here's exactly what happened. I think I I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room.
Yep, that's fair, casemate.
From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something
I like how
happened
it's
that
an
she wasn't
active
prepared
comic,
for.
no less. That's pretty cool.
They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist.
I like the manic creature that represents Leon here. Okay, it's not. That's not. Huh. Okay, broke her wrist. Now the sword is out. Yep. Stabs her. Weird that would be there.
Here's exactly what happened. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife.
Okay, we can see the falling knife right there already.
Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer
Couldn't get
went
through
after
because
them,
the door was
but
stuck.
couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way
This
of knowing.
whole trial sequence is very cool.
So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hero's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star.
Yeah. Yeah, her outfit does have that vibe, doesn't it?
The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon?
Drama!
It would appear that Hero simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
I mean, that's what he's been doing the whole time. I suspect that he's gonna keep doing it.
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it.
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
What, me? Okay, this is where the melodious voice thing comes in. Opponents simply won't want to hear anything you have to say. If this happens, you will engage them in a head-to-head battle. We like to refer to this as a bullet time battle, the BTW. And to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. Oh, dear. Match your button presses with the tempo as they move across the screen and reach the center. Right mouse button to lock on to an opponent's statement. Not only a rhythm game in court, but there's also like a disco floor behind it. Tempo marker reaches the center. Okay, pick one, pop it. Okay. Building up a combo. You'll initiate a tempo up. Flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get a tempo down. Tempo changes, so does the timing. Watch out for that. Enough damage to your opponent, and their weak spot statement will appear. But you can press the left mouse button to shoot it down with a truth bullet. Shoot it fast enough, and you'll come out victorious. Your influence gauge drops to 0. You'll run out of time. Good luck. Have fun.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob,
Oh, we can't save here.
Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
I mean, I'd watch more C-SPAN if these kind of debates played out this way. Something of their own to remove the screws. What could it have been?
You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
The moment of truth.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lied! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lied! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lied! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed.
The, Leon's argument seems to have devolved into the equivalent of, the playground nuh-uh.
I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove that.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Right there again.
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
I mean, first they just need to show that it was opened. Everybody else said that they hadn't touched them. But, I mean, what if they're really good screwdrivers? And what if they were really, like, so-so screws? You know, maybe it wouldn't leave very visible marks. It's kind of a flimsy final strike here.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! Huh?
Huh?
If you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
Oh. Well, isn't that, interesting looking?
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
His face is all wibbly. Oh, you get scored. Okay. I don't know if they go up to the S, you know, double S, triple S star kind of ranks, but I'll take it. Pretty much, Ray Day. Towards the end, he was just flailing around shouting stupid. Yeah, casemate. It's not a It would be much more plausible if they had said, "Hey, none of us opened our toolkits." Like they were all like shrink wrapped. And apparently you get medals.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection.
A lever?
Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right?
Oh, you have to vote.
Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Guilty. Doo-doo-doo. Looks like he got it right on the money. I mean, given how quickly they went through the they dismantled the doorknob, I don't think they were in there too securely, you know? Blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, none other than Leon Kuwata. Huh? Wiggly, wiggly, wiggly.
Hey, hold on.
Leon, did you really kill Sayaka? I don't believe it. We just spent the last whole sequence of this game, like a good portion of time, Hina, showing that he did it. And nominally, you were one of the folks that voted for him, right? Like, who did you vote for if not for Leon?
You son of a bitch!
What is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. Just kill or be killed.
So that's why.
That's why I killed her first.
None of you are any different.
One wrong step, and you would be the one standing here. I mean, we've already been through the dramatic part. The slow unwinding of the death of Leon is definitely cat snooze-worthy. Not to be fair, but just Leon's got a point. It's Sayaka tried to kill him. Like, she struck first, she orchestrated the whole scenario. And when presented with that situation, he took the opportunity. In fairness, he could have decided not to. But then everybody would be dealing with the fact that Sayaka just tried to draw blood, you know? What are they going to do with her now? Complete chance that I wound up like this. It's just unlucky, that's all.
Hey, come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? So, you know, I would say from a taking action perspective, like the situation that he was put into, it's reasonable. Like, it makes sense what he did. But the way that his death game plays out, that's not going to save him. decision we made was right after all. It's not, like, did we find somebody that, killed her in cold blood? It was, did he kill her? You know, I don't know, Casemate. I wonder if that comes up in this game or one of the later ones. The idea of what happens if someone kills themselves. That's true, Remeru. Hifumi, the hamster man in front, looks like he's got the maid hat and the twin tails of Celeste behind him. I mean, I don't know that that would be out of the domain of expected, given Hifumi's predilections. When I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, then that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But if you'd been wrong, everybody would be dead. I feel like your priorities are skewed, Makoto. You're thinking with the wrong organ. Can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. You got your own video. You saw a video that was meant to provoke you too. But did you lure somebody into your room after trying to frame your best friend in order to kill them? We're trapped here with no way out. Just think about it, Ray Day. Now you've got the image of Hifumi wearing Celeste's outfit. That is something that will never leave your mind now. Why? I can't afford to be stuck in here. One thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends. If something like that happened to them. And Sayaka... I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean, even some things that weren't so unpleasant. That weren't so pleasant. That's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. And so when she said...
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Finally caught on, Makoto. Or at least, finally let it sink in. That's why she talked to me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. Boy howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness. What did you say? I understand. Really, I do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Pretty much, Casemate. He had it kind of bad, didn't he? Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it. Everything. It's all your fault. Yeah. Suddenly in a frenzy, I lunged at Monokuma. But... intervention. Angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. It is true there, Rayday. He was... he was enraptured by the scent, apparently. At least more of that hasn't come up yet. Like, we can only hope that that Sayaka's betrayal will have taught him against trusting his nose too much. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were going to give me a good walloping. Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you're so magnificent, you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kuwata will receive his punishment.
Punishment?
Huh? What?
You mean execution?
Oh, he's not liking that. I mean, fair. Execution isn't a thrilling proposition, but he's really not liking that.
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her. Yeah, that's right, casemate. She dresses snazzy and she's got kung fu grip.
Yeah, that's it.
Just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? I mean, he could have had a future in baseball, casemate. But he emphasized that he really didn't like baseball, and he never did. And now he was trying to kick off like a singing career or something. Sherbet just needed to toast the other side, Rimuru. After she'd shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder? Celeste being actually observant here.
So, that's why...
No, that's not. Let's stop it. Had enough of this. Are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. He's still got it. Because the one to blame is him. I mean, he just gave everybody a motive. It's not like he grabbed their hands. If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation. The mastermind. No, you shouldn't. The guy has, like, spike launchers hiding all over the place. You should not be fighting him. Better that you just off yourselves right now if you're going to try. Did you awaken to your sense of justice? Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, It's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? No! You shut up. Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everybody's been waiting for. The punishment. That's right, we've all been waiting for this.
I'm begging you, please, don't do this.
Hey, come on now.
No more begging, no more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please.
And we live in a society. Stop, please.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon Quada, the ultimate baseball star. Here we go.
No.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Monokuma is such a jolly guy. If it weren't for the whole, entrapment and murder thing, he would probably be cool to hang around with. Ooh, fun times. Beep. Yep. The important thing is not getting caught, not doing the killing. Chained up to a post in front of a high-caliber ball launcher. Oh, dang. I wonder if that's another loophole, Rimuru, is the whole... the classic concept of if everyone's dead, there are technically no witnesses. What we saw, that was the true face of despair. We can't call it that. What else could we call it? I mean, when you think about it in some perspectives there, Rimuru, pitching machine isn't much better.
Extreme!
Oh, good times. Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control. I like how the launcher had essentially heat vents. Like the little fins that protruded out. Oh. What is going on? I mean, they said he was going to be executed.
I can't take it.
Do we really have to keep doing this? I mean, according to the teddy bear, yes, you have to keep killing each other. The teddy bear has spoken. thanks for joining us, Roxy. I'll be posting next week's schedule tomorrow or Monday, so take a look if you'd like to join us again. Just can't take it. Well, hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
See, Rimuru, it's an excellent way to either, well, it's an excellent way to diffuse any sort of argument. Is you just need, like, a plushie or, like, even just a cute animal nearby, you know, like a cat or something like that. And when somebody asks you for a decision, you just need to make that decision and then very loudly proclaim, "The kitty has spoken!" And then take no further arguments. Why are you doing all this?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful secret society type of guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful secret society type of bear.
Well...
So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a grueling ordeal?
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. I love that sentence. Love everything about that sentence. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together.
Shit.
Know who you are, but I'm gonna pound you into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened, happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course we can't cut free of the outside world, being trapped in this insane place. You're trapped, are you? I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of this school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever.
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say? I feel like there's some deeper meaning hiding in here. Just like before.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Anyway, let's get to the Blackened's punishment. That's what everyone is waiting for, after all.
Hey.
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to? Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I need to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone. I'm still interested in how he's vanishing. I don't mean, like, what allows him to. Like, you know, does he have a magic power? But I mean, is he vanishing in a puff of smoke? Is he dropping through a door in the floor? Is he just blinking out of existence? I mean, the sprite just lowers out of sight, but what is happening? What happens when he disappears? Left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. No, we were only paralyzed in despair for a little bit. Probably exaggerating. Probably just a little period of despair. Just a little despair. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. It was in that moment.
Just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? Let's see, can we spot him? Yep. He's hanging out in the play area. Sky is still napping. She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why, as she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me. You can't just say something like that. Don't mess with me. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However...
Even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
So...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. I mean... Maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who killed her.
Certainly.
Certainly one possibility. Not familiar with that source, but it is an interesting quote. I don't think that's what it was. She was uncertain. She wasn't sure if she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Is it? Is that irony? Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Liam. Well, Liam wasn't really a friend. And keep moving forward.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths? That's right, folks. It's possible that she wasn't, like, hesitating out of compassion for Makoto. It was just, she's really spiteful. Well, if my plan's not gonna work, I'm taking you down with me. It's amusing how that's pretty much become a truism, isn't it, Tess? If somebody says it's ironic, it's probably not. I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry them with me the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. Again, you hardly knew Leon. Your primary interactions with Leon were him yelling at you and trying to push forward framing you with murder after killing someone. I feel like, okay, you could say that about Sayaka if you completely set aside the whole she emotionally manipulated you in order to frame you for murder portion. But it's kind of a stretch. I feel like you're kind of virtue signaling a little too hard here, bud. Dial it back. So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the hard road. I have high expectations for you. She said that she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well, I'm psychic. This being the joke that Sayaka always played on him during the conversations.
What?
I'm kidding, I just have pretty good intuition. Chapter 1, To Survive. The End. I'm going to say harsh culling. To be continued. You received the Despair Bat. Would you like to save? Yes, I would. All right, we are going to stop right there. And we're going to wrap up for the night, folks. It took a little longer than I expected. I did want to get through this little chapter here, so we kept on rolling. I appreciate all of you staying around to watch and listen with us. It was good times. I hope all of you enjoyed that. That trial segment was kind of bonkers, wasn't it? Hello, Sherbet. Sherbet's orbiting me and like leaning in, letting me know it's it's an hour past food time. Did you know? It's good. We're likely going to be continuing this one for a while. Potentially same day. I might start mixing up the days each week just to shuffle things, but we have enough content that I think it keeps it spaced out pretty well. But like I mentioned, I'll update the schedule tomorrow or Monday morning and get all those streams scheduled up. If you have any comments or want to give some feedback or just chat with folks, go ahead and swing by the Discord. It is linked on the video description. If you have game suggestions or anything like that, you can do that on the forum. Otherwise, you can either add to or just look at the collection of pet photos. I agree, Casemate. The logic is more drama than necessarily as solid as it could be. It's more, crime drama than actual investigation. But yeah, again, I hope everybody had a good time. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you again next week.